This is a little bit of a different YouTube video today, and I'm actually going to change things up a bit on YouTube because I kind of want to use this as a platform just to express myself a little bit more and possibly do different things, which is what today is all about. You know that I've just spent 5 to 6 weeks in the Ukraine filming Overwatch Contenders Season 2. I was there at the beginning of the year as well for Season 1. Lots of videos that you can check out about that. The thing is I really struggled in Season 1, being away from home for so long, but specifically being in a very foreign country, having to suddenly have housemates, English not being the predominant language in that country. I found it really difficult. Mentally, I took a little bit of strain, also because I didn't really plan for the trip. I didn't actively search out things to do, so it seemed to drag. I decided in Season 2 that the problem was me, and I needed to fix that. I was in this incredible Eastern European country. I had a chance to see things, and I was going to actively search out things to do, which I did, and I got to vlog a lot of those and share them with you. One of the other things that I did though, and this was purely a personal thing, was I decided that the only way to get out of a slump is to actively choose to create and set a goal for yourself every day. So what I decided to do purely for me and for my family and friends was to do a photo a day challenge. So the idea was that once a day I would share a photo onto my personal and private Facebook accounts that would kind of encapsulate the day. And I'd write a small sort of blurb about it and kind of share the journey. So you would get about, I think it was like 31 to 33 photos that kind of highlighted the journey that I was on and the experience that I was having. After I did the whole project and I took a look at all the photos, I really just loved what I'd been able to create, because I kind of forced myself to try new things with photography, with editing and things like that. And I really like the story that I've been able to create with these photos. And that's what I want to do today. This was meant to be a very personal thing, and some of the captions are very personal. It really gives you insight into where my head was on some days. I want to share that with you now. All I'm going to do is put the photo up and read the caption as it was on the day that I posted, because I think that story and that narrative really, you can feel it if I do that rather than trying to change it now. And I kind of want to show you what I did and hopefully just give you insights into the journey. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit more personal. I don't know if you'll dig it. If you do, let me know. If you don't, let me know as well, then I won't do this again. But these are my particular photos. For the nerds out there, I took all these photos on an iPhone 8 only, and then I edited it with the Lightroom app on my iPhone 8. The idea wasn't to use presets or to have a unified approach. Each photo was edited according to the feelings and the mood that I felt reflected in the photos. Take a look and come on this journey with me. Day 1. I landed from the airport, unpacked, and headed straight to rehearsals. While I was waiting to catch a taxi, I met this guy. The first day is always a bag of mixed emotions. Homesickness is always worse the first few days. This little dude made me smile because he refused to pose for a picture. This was my lunch, or dinner, or meal if you like, before rehearsals on day 2. It was a creamy salmon soup from Very Well Cafe. It actually was really yummy, but I do struggle with how oily the food can sometimes be here. I presume it's because of the weather. It was still one of the best soups I've had though. It's the first day of broadcast, and this is just a sneaky behind the scenes look of the Contenders production HQ. It was a long day. Call time was 4 p.m. and we finally got into bed at 3 a.m. Okay, I'm cheating a little bit. We had a chaotic broadcast day and I just forgot to take a single photo all day. But Pasha, you can find him on Instagram, took this photo of me for his Star Ladder balcony series. So I'm sharing this one today. We spent a lot of time on that balcony at work, even when it's snowing. First day off and the weather came out to play. This little park is directly outside our building. Though I don't think there's much upkeep or care for the land, it's still made for a rad spot to enjoy the sunshine. Late, lazy nights have been the theme of my first week. I can't stop playing House Flipper. A scary thought, but also a welcoming one. It keeps me entertained for hours and time passes somewhat faster. The last time I was in Kiev, I broke a nail. The experience of attempting to find a salon to help was, when I look back, actually a really good giggle. However, now I have my local, and despite communicating in pointing, hand gestures, and Google Translate, they do a beautiful job. I found a mall, and I also found the Ukrainian equivalent of a Lush stand. I actually browsed their bath bombs and found this. I also found a blue one. Blue ball jokes with player 2 have ensued. There were better pictures to actually sum up the day, but this one just makes me giggle every time. It's rehearsals day, and how sad I was to be inside. The glorious weather here is really something. This is a walkway on one of the main roads. In summer, it turns into a long green park and people are reading and drinking in it on a Sunday afternoon. It's funny because I avoided it like the plague in winter as I'd slip and slide on the concrete in the snow. This is the Cyber Arena or Star Ladder. The Contender Studio is based here. While it's an esports production studio, it's also a giant gaming space open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There are always people paying to come play here at all times of the day. It's always boys and men, and the majority are jamming Dota. We finished broadcast at 2 a.m. and the place is still busy. This is another cheat shot because it wasn't actually taken by me. However, how amazing does my hair look? XOXO Hair Studio works miracles for me to make sure it doesn't go to shit when I'm traveling. But also, Kiev had a giant storm today. The power cuts in parts of the city, and we actually didn't know if the broadcast would happen. In the chaos, I kind of forgot to snap a pic. The electricity came back on in time, it felt like home, and I laughed because no one ever considers generators here. It rained today, the weather was gloomy. I got woken up after a late night of broadcast by a cleaner. I got caught in the rain trying to find a toasted sandwich. I was gloomy. England lost in the World Cup. My housemates were gloomy. I didn't leave the house today. Well, I mean I did, but only to sit out here in the park right at our building. It was a shit day. Emotions were meh, and no, those aren't my bottles. Headed to the bank today as I'm doing my first tour and needed some cash. Walking the streets here in summer is like a completely different experience to winter. All the roads off the main ones seem to disappear into shrubbery like a magic garden is hidden just on the other side. I went on a walking street art tour today. I saw some incredible pieces of art, but also got to see 2 giant ravens in a secret hidden garden in the Kiev Old City. I'm not a big bird fan, but these were beautiful. Cocky too. Plus, I know my mom would have loved them, so I had to share this photo for the day. We can talk about my twisted ankle. Yes, I fell down some stairs tomorrow. Yesterday, I fell down the stairs during my street art tour and I twisted my ankle. It hurts. You can't see it well here, but the left ankle is definitely nice and swollen. I snapped this on the way to rehearsals. The rest of the day was spent on my bed reading with my foot up. Broadcast day means I literally wake up, get ready, and go to work, so there isn't much to photograph. Only today, I found the staircase in our building. The lifts went out the other day and I realized I actually have no idea how we get out without the lifts. I made it my mission to find these, and it involved a few dark corridors, random doors, and climbing over building supplies with a wonky ankle. It's another work day. This is a touch of home. Thanks Lauren and Daz for the over-the-top glitter on my desk, and it's also a touch of comfort. Ride Nectarine. The Ukrainian president is nicknamed Willy Wonka, or the chocolate president, because he is actually a billionaire chocolate factory owner. Ignoring the very obvious ethics, business interests debate, I decided to taste his chocolate today. This clearly said milk chocolate, but was filled with caramel, and it was the best surprise. Willy Wonka can stay in his chocolate factory. I'm still not so sure he should be running a country. My friend Pasha from work said he'd take me out. He took me down a weird side street, pulled a lever which rang a bell. There was a small door flap that opened, and then he said a password. We walked down the stairs and ended up here. Not much magic to share today. I worked mainly, then took a quick walk to the bank. On the way back up the street, I saw a small sign for what looked like a cafe. I wanted a sandwich, so I followed the sign. I ended up in a big corporate building, and after navigating a few corridors, found a small French cafe. The ladies there were lovely, but the ciabatta I purchased was overpriced and disappointing. However, their macaroons were divine. I tried 4 flavors and spent the evening watching a documentary about Minecraft while tasting them. I did a walking tour of Kiev today, exploring the old city, learning about the history of the Ukraine and the turmoil of a country constantly fighting for freedom. How random is this tiny couch between 2 giant ones? I snapped this at a cinema cafe. We hunted down a movie theater on the outskirts of town that was showing Ant-Man and the Wasp. You'd be surprised how impossible it was to find an original English version. All the movies here are dubbed in Russian. Maybe I need to start a Things I Found on the Stairwell series. Also, sums up my day, to be honest. Work. It's all I did today, so it's the picture you're getting. Nighttime musings. 7 days and I'm home. 7 more photos, 2 more broadcasts. So close. I found this in the park. Just a random something tied to a tree. I wish I could offer more, but knowing I'm so close to heading home has added a slight downer to the trip. I spent most of my day doing admin and playing games to try kill time. This is the entrance to my apartment building. It's where the little old Ukrainian lady who plays concierge shouted at me when the lifts broke and I used the emergency staircase to get out. It's where I was kept awake for 30 minutes by my neighbor who was either being murdered or having the best sex of her life. Judging by the rhythmic banging on the walls, it makes me lean to the latter. It's where my one housemate still hasn't learned how to use the washing machine. It's also where I've lived for the last month. So many memories. I've become rather fond of it. I visited the Museum of Corruption today. The ex-president of the Ukraine dropped a cool $2.5 billion on this living complex. He has fled to Russia, and a strange extremist now has all the keys to the house. Government hasn't seized it, and this man claims to control all access. It's all really bizarre, almost as bizarre as the ex-president's obsession with wood and caged birds. I spent my day doing admin and prepping for my final 2 broadcasts before I head home. I also watched a documentary on Netflix called Winter on Fire. It's a chilling recap of the revolution that occurred in the Ukraine in 2014. I really suggest everyone watch it. You'll notice a stack of buildings and landmarks I've actually shared here as well. Lights at the end of the tunnel. I walk through here every day to work when I need to catch a cab to the studio. I snapped this one as the lights went off in studio. That's a wrap on the group stages of Overwatch Contenders Season 2. I'm back home for a 6-day break before I'm back here for semi-finals. And so marks the end of my photo a day album. This is the last upload because I'm getting on a plane and I'm heading home. Peace, Ukraine. And that was it. That was Season 2 of Overwatch Contenders, my time in the Ukraine, done. Let me know what you think. If you like videos more like these, I kind of want to maybe go this route. So if you want me to go back to just being silly, we can do that as well. I'd love to hear from you. So let me know in the comments below, and see you next week.